Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Testing. Audio. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Check, check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Good? Yep. Okay.
Buenos días, good morning. Me llamo Jacob Frey, yo soy el alcalde de la ciudad de Minneapolis. My name is Jacob Frey, I'm the city of Minneapolis, and I'm joined here with our chief of police, with faith and business leaders, because we want to speak out on what we already recognize, which is this Trump administration is causing chaos and fear in our communities where we should be building trust. We have Latino community members that are terrified to go outside, to go to the grocery store, to attend church, simply to open up the door to their home because they're concerned about their safety. People in our Latino community should be comfortable calling the police. They should be comfortable shopping for food. Indeed, they have made Minneapolis a better place through their hard work and their entrepreneurship. And because of this, because of their fear to go outside and patron small and local businesses throughout our city, these businesses and our economy is then suffering. The consequences of these hateful immigration policies have a ripple effect. What it means is that fewer people in our city are going outside to patron these small and local businesses. These business owners are having to shut their doors. They're losing tons of money because they are not able to pay the rent and keep the lights on. The impact is to the economy. I've heard and again that the Trump administration cares about business. Well, in this case, business is suffering. Business is suffering because of these horrible immigration policies where even Latino American citizens don't feel comfortable going outside because here's the thing. They're discriminating only to the sense of are you Latino or are you Somali? Once it's been established that you're Latino or Somali, the deportations or the detainments that we're seeing right now are entirely indiscriminate. My ask to the people of Minneapolis, to everyone, go patron these small and local businesses. The ask is about as easy of an ask I could possibly make. Go over to East Lake Street, buy a beautiful dress, get some incredible food, buy some tamales and some tacos, go get yourself some insurance, Go shop at a Latino or a Somali-owned business. Go patron some of these immigrant-owned businesses that have helped make Minneapolis a better place and that have added so beautiful to the cultural fabric of who we are. These businesses are suffering right now, and right now they deserve our support. And so whether that's heading to Mercado Central or Plaza Mexico, whether that's going over to Midtown Global Market or Segal or Sinag, whether that's heading over to Carmel Mall, East Lake Street, or Cedar Riverside, we all have an obligation. And so if you're sitting at home right now and you're asking yourself a question, what can I do to help out our beautifully diverse communities? What can I do to help out our immigrant populations here in Minneapolis? One answer is very simple. Go buy some incredible products that they are selling when their businesses are suffering. It'll make our city a better place. It will help these businesses out through a very difficult time, and we can all be united as one Minneapolis. And so I'm so proud to be here with leaders from our communities that have been standing up through some of the most difficult times. And I have the honor of introducing our Chief of Police. I want to note that we have a separation ordinance in the city of Minneapolis. And so when you see this uniform and this badge, you know that city employees, including our police officers, do not ask about your immigration status. We do not participate in federal immigration enforcement. And the separation ordinance exists so that you feel safe and comfortable calling 911 here in our city, interacting with our local police officers, because they will be looking out for your safety, pure and simple. I'm proud to invite up Chief O'Hara.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor. My name is Brian O'Hara, and I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. First off, thank you, Pastor Sergio, for inviting us back into this sacred space here. We know this has been a very, very difficult time for our communities here in the city. The fear that people are experiencing is real. As our mayor has said, it's been sad to drive down Lake Street and to see so many of our businesses either closed or empty. It's hard to see the impact that this is having on everyone in our community. It's especially personal to me, having been raised a Catholic, to be in a Christian church this morning as we are approaching Christmas. And I cannot help but think of what is happening in our city today and how that echoes with how outsiders have been treated for thousands of years, how Mary and Joseph themselves were considered outsiders and forced to stay in a barn. That's what we're getting ready to commemorate as Christians around the world, while all of this fear is happening right here in our town. So my goal, and our goal as the Minneapolis Police, is to try and do what we can to reduce fear, to reduce anxiety, and to try and help provide for public safety and uphold human dignity in our city. We have several of our community service officers that are here in the back. If I'm going to ask them to please join us up here with our pastors, because I want people to see what the future of the Minneapolis Police Department looks like. This is not the same police department it was in 2020. Our officers who have stayed are incredibly resilient, and they are incredibly dedicated to our communities. And as you can see, the department is very rapidly becoming more and more diversified. And these community service officers are here this morning because, as you can see, Pastor is getting ready to have food distributed to people who are too scared to leave their homes. And these community service officers have volunteered to help deliver food to people that are scared to leave their homes. And that is the quality of the character of the men and women of this police department. So I just want to be clear, as our mayor has said, several times, and I have said, the Minneapolis Police Department is committed to honoring the human dignity of every person in our community. The Minneapolis Police Department does not participate in immigration enforcement. We do not care and do not ask people about immigration status. People in our community need to know that they can feel confident that when they need help, they can call 911, and we will show up for everyone, and not be afraid to call because they think we might turn them over for some civil immigration violation. That's not our job. Our mission is to keep everyone in this town safe, and we cannot accomplish that if a huge segment of this community is too scared to call us when they need help, because that makes everyone less safe. So thank you, and I want to turn it over to Pastor Sergio from the church here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Mayor, Police, Chief of Police, Daniel, Rudy Trujillo, pastors that are here, business owners that are here. This is horrible. I've been speaking with some pastors. I've been speaking with some business owners. To us, as Latinos, this feels worse than the pandemic. At least in the pandemic, you know, people had the option to go grocery shopping and stuff like that. We have over 5,000 families waiting for food. We've been able to deliver 400 to 600 a day. So this is something that is continuing to increase, and we're doing what we can. But this is not good. I mean, there are some people out there in government that call themselves Christians, and they're persecuting their own brothers in Christ. Kind of like the chief said, you know, Jesus was born, and then because of government, he needed to flee to Egypt and to stay in Egypt to save his life. And if you're trying to send people back to their country just because they crossed the border to offer a bright future for their family, or escaping, you know, bad communities back there, if you send them back, they could get killed as well. So you're helping the criminals. We're okay with you guys getting the bad apples, fine. But please, please, have compassion. Have compassion for pregnant women. Have compassion for families that are scared. Even citizens and residents are scared. You're traumatizing the community. This is not the Christian way. This is not compassion. Jesus looked at the crowds and looked at them as people with no shepherds. And I think we need to join together and be a voice for those who cannot be a voice. So I'm asking the church in general to get behind this so we can feed these people. And if you don't agree with us, well, it's your opinion, but I encourage you guys to read the law of Christ in Galatians chapter 6. The law of Christ is about the law of Moses. The law of Christ is help your brother when he is not doing well. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. God bless you, and God bless Minneapolis and the whole Minnesota. Blessings.
Good morning. My name is Rodolfo Trujillo, and I just want to let you know about the impact that these ICE raids have had on our communities in the Twin Cities and in the outlying areas. One of the things that's really important is these ICE raids have caused terror. And when I mean terror, I mean terror. Yesterday, I saw ICE agents load and put in the car a student, a high school student, took her and her father on 4th and Lake. And that impacted me a lot. It was just, that's not the way to do things. That's not I'm fourth generation American. This is not the way we do things in our country. I just want to let you know. This has had an impact, and people don't want to go outside their houses. They don't want to shop. People like Danny and other people that have grocery stores are actually delivering the groceries to the people because of the terror that they have. It's impacted the businesses, clientele. My clientele, I own 2 H&R Block offices, and the clientele has dropped significantly. Latinos and Somali as well. are not coming out. That's going to have an impact on the hospitality businesses and such as restaurants, hotels, and cleaning. And the plaza, the Mexican plaza across the street from my business, half the owners are not even showing up to open their businesses, and that's the truth. It's very important that people at this time that they go and they patronize these businesses. These people have labor costs, they have fixed costs as rent, they have variable costs that they have to pay, and they're not going to be able to pay that if clientele are not coming in. And as Pastor Sergio Amezcua, thank you for hosting us, and you also noted something that was really important. During the pandemic, I'm originally from Texas, so I really didn't protect myself during the COVID. I didn't, and I was able to shop. I was able to do things that I was able to normally do, but we had an option. Some of these people right now don't have that option. They don't have the option to go outside because of the terror that they have in their heart. And I'm not saying anything about Christianity or anything else, but that's spiritually that's wrong. What we're doing, we're terrorizing people, and they're terrorizing Minneapolis because of what we stand for here in Minneapolis. Thank you very much.
My name is Daniel Hernandez, better known as Danny in Minnesota. I love Minnesota. I've been here since I was 16. I own several businesses in the Twin Cities. It's been a real pain to see not just U.S. citizens, U.S. residents, TPS, WAWA, visa use, being so scared to go out for simply being brown or black in some cases. Because my Somali brothers are being terrorized. My Hispanic brothers are being terrorized because of their skin color. Now, yes, a lot of people say, hey, what about the illegals, like so many of you call us? Well, next time you eat your apple, think about an illegal picking that apple. Next time you eat a burrito, think about an illegal might be the one making that burrito. But let me tell you something. Nobody is illegal in the land of God. This message that I want to send, this is not for President Trump. This is for Melania Trump. And I hope she hears it. Melania, you speak just like me. We both have a very strong accent. You, as a person from other country who came over looking for the American dream, the real American dream, you're welcome. You succeed. As you, this Christmas, are going to be sitting with your family, let me remind you something, Melania. A lot of the Latinos and Somali brothers and sisters who also look for that American dream are not going to have their parents with them, are not going to have their mother or their father. I got calls, chill calls, people calling me while the race is going on. Danny, what are we going to do? My kids are here. They are knocking at the door. Think about that, Melania. Think about that. You are a person. I have seen your heart. I have seen how you are always supporting mothers. Just yesterday, a mother was drugged and she was pregnant. 2 days ago, a mother at the Mall of America was snitched by immigration agents. Today, she lost her baby. So think about what are we teaching and what are you teaching, Baron Trump, about basic human lives. So my friends, I am here as a leader. I am here as a Christian person. I am here to support not just the Latinos and the Somalis, but I'm here to support all minorities. We in the Twin Cities have gone through the worst of the worst in the past, and we survived COVID. We survived the biggest riots in Minnesota. And let me tell you something, we will survive this one. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll open it to questions.
Let me answer that one. Let me answer that one.
Yeah, you can get it straight
Because
from a business owner. Let me introduce exactly. So this is the guy that owns a series of grocery stores throughout the city in Colonial Market. Has done extensive business, and most recently you said about 40 to 50% down, but it could be more than that.
Well, right now we are literally at 10 to 15% on my store alone. The stores that inside of Colonial Market in Lake Street, we have
15% of total.
of well, we used to sell 100%. Now we only sell 15%. 15%. The business that we have 12 businesses there. They're all closed. All of them are closed. And believe me when I'm telling you, they're not here illegally. But they're closed because they are afraid to be outside and get caught. Now, just yesterday, right outside of my doors, immigration took one of my customers. What? He was just buying. And, like, it's just the scale of the damage, it's going to have repercussions for years to come. And believe me when I said that.
So Daniel, you're only selling 15% of your inventory, is that correct?
Only 15% and 15%. And that's because I choosing to drive. Last night I got home at 1 a.m. because I'm bringing food. It's completely different, my friend, on delivering 50 to 100 meals per day to having 500 people coming over to your store. We're already, like, even in my own store, we used to employ 25 people. Right now we're at 4 people plus me. Because we cannot afford it. My rent is $28,000. The Wellington have been so grateful to say, Danny, don't worry about it. We are with you. We hope you survive. Jacob is checking on me constantly. Danny, how can we help you? How can we help the community? And Chief O'Hara is like, Danny, I want to make sure that the community knows that we are here to help them. My friends, just yesterday, I delivered a food. I saw a mom and a dad so afraid, 3 kids, 3 kids playing around, and the mom asked me for medicine. For medicine from my store, for high fever and for dehydration, IV. So I took it to them plus food, and the mother and the father begin asking me, can we take our kid to ER? Because we're so afraid. And I'm like, what do you mean, can I see the kid? I saw the kid was dying. Right away I told them, listen, I can take you or you can go, but you need to take this baby. This baby is going to die. That's the amount of how afraid is our community. In front of me, they hug each other. They hug each other, and they told my love, you take the baby, I'll take care of the kids. If I don't see you, we'll see you somewhere in Mexico. And the mother left at that moment with the kid to the ER. This is just one example. How many of thousands? We have thousands of Latinos living in Minnesota that are contributing not just to the basic economy. They're contributing the heart of the economy. So there are things that sometimes we don't make sense. I hope the president, I don't know who's advising the president, probably he's going to hate me, but hey, think about what you're doing because you are destroying your own economy. And in this time where we are about to be in war with Venezuela, are you spending billions of dollars to snitch people who are actually contributing to this wonderful country? Please think about that.
Okay, so let me just interject here. I just wanted to interject here, and forgive me, but he was talking about that they said they would meet in Mexico. I just want to let you guys know the process that the immigration process, when they take you in, you get lost in the immigration process. For 3, 4, 5 weeks, people don't know where you're at, because that's how long it takes for your case to come up and for Homeland Security to put your case in the internet. So when they say we'll see you in Mexico, it's because if one parent or two parents or both parents get snatched, the children don't know where their parents are. They won't know where their parents are for 2 to 4 to 5 weeks. They have no idea where they're at. And that's why, and people don't know that. The typical American, we don't know those things. So there's repercussions. If the children come home and their parents are not there, they don't know where they're at. And they won't know. They won't know where they're at. And we got to understand that it's just not taking somebody and in 24 hours that person gets recorded and they know exactly where they're at. They don't even know in which detention center they're at. And that could take up to a month, maybe 5 weeks. So, and what happens to the children? The state takes them. So there's a plethora of consequences that happen when the parents get taken. I just want you guys to understand that.
Excuse me, Mayor. 2 Sundays ago, a member of our church was coming to church with his family. Sunday, he got arrested. His wife was able to see with his location. So after the service, I went to the immigration building here in Fort Snelling. It was locked. Nobody was there. It was Sunday, just the people that were arresting people. So I used my car to block the exit. And I walked inside until 5 trucks came out. They were ICE agents. So they told me, I just want to remind them something, because we're American citizens. They told me, is that your car? And I said, yes. And they're like, move your car. Like, no, don't get it twisted, brother. You work for me. I don't work for you. And I'm a pastor of the community. I'm here to pick up someone that you guys arrested, ingested. And they plead me to move the car because they were going to the airport. He's like, we're leaving, but more are coming. And I just I cannot believe this is happening. 70% of churches, Latino churches, start doing the live stream again without people in their church. With American citizens and residents. Our kids are born here. We love this nation. We want to keep the American dream alive. We're praying for peace and prosperity. Latinos built Lake Street after 2020. Don't forget that. So it is important that we take this into consideration. You're creating another pandemic. People are not getting fed. 5,000 families last night were registered to receive food. If I look at the data right now, we probably had 6,500. We only have we're organizing 400 volunteers. Most of them Anglos, Americans that are helping us deliver food. We don't need this crisis. See, if you have disagreement, Donald Trump, with the governor, call him. Sit down with him, just like you sit down with Mandani. It's okay. Talk. Stop playing politics and playing with people's life. Because one day, we're going to go to judgment, and some of them will say, come to my right, because you gave me food when I was hungry. Because I was thirsty, you give me water. Because I was a foreigner, I was a stranger or an illegal alien, and you welcome me. The Bible says, welcome the aliens. Treat them like one of yours. But others will show up with their chest up. Oh, we're Christians in the name of patriotism, but that's racism. And then Jesus will tell them, get out of my sight, doers of evil, because I never knew you. God bless you.
Yeah, let's answer a couple more questions.
I've been following the ICE agents that are around the community, where they are, what streets.
I got it so far.
pregunta es, my question is, ya se sabe el problema. We already know the problem. Lo que pasó de ayer para atrás no se puede resolver.
What happened from yesterday back, there's nothing that we can do to resolve.
De hoy hacia el frente,
From today and up front and upcoming,
¿cuál es tu postura con nuestra comunidad latina en general, hablando desde arriba hasta abajo?
how does your posture stand, or how do you stand with our community? Talking from top to bottom,
Para ayudar
so that you help,
que la comunidad esté segura.
that the community is actually safe.
Mi comunidad
My community,
ya es un poco más grande, hay más gente que nos está ayudando,
it's big, there is a lot of people who have joined us,
pero no es suficiente.
but it's not sufficient.
No tengo el alcance
I don't have enough, and I don't have the possible opportunity
para ayudar a más gente.
to help more people in the community.
Me gustaría saber
I would like to know,
cuál es tu postura hacia la comunidad latina.
what will you do from now on to the Latino community?
Thank you for the question. First, I'll answer simply, which is we stand rock solid and unequivocally with you. We will not back down. We will not give up. We, as you stated, are seeing countless violations of state, federal, and constitutional law. We are seeing, again, discrimination only take place to the extent they are finding somebody Latino. Once a person who is Latino is identified, which you can usually do visually, there is no discrimination. In other words, they're just picking up virtually anybody. That is against the law. That is against the United States Constitution. Any person, any constitutional lawyer out there, be they Democrat or Republican, it should not matter, should be outraged, because this is not acceptable in America. And so you ask, what will we do to help? First, this is an instance where I'm not going to overpromise and then underdeliver. I'm going to tell you the truth. We don't control what ICE agents do. We don't control when, where, or how they show up in our city. We do control the way that we react and behave. As I've stated, our police officers will not cooperate with ICE or any other federal agency around immigration enforcement work. We will not inquire as to a person's documentation status. When one of these raids take place, our job, as much as possible, is to try to keep people safe. We have noticed, by the way, that when our police officers are present, the actions of ICE are less vile. We have noticed that when our police officers are present and around, some of these ICE agents will check themselves before they do some of the horrific acts that you yourself have described. So we are doing our best, and at the same time, we can't be everywhere all at once. And when you have hundreds and hundreds of ICE agents that are in and around our city, it does get difficult to handle everything all at once. Additionally, we're preemptively suing. We are working with a number of different entities that can sue on your behalf. If you are somebody that has unlawfully gotten picked up, you can contact the ACLU. They have a whole litigation strategy and process where you have standing yourself to sue. They are developing class action lawsuits that you can also enter. Our city is doing everything possible that we can under the law to preemptively and responsively sue as well. So does that cover all of our bases? No, it does not. But we're going to be working not with ICE, but with community members to make sure that when some of these actions go down, there's communication, both to and from communities, so that they know what is happening and they can stay as safe as possible. And I want to repeat this to everybody else that is not Latino and that is not Somali and that is asking themselves right now, what can I do? One of the things that you can do is patron some of these immigrant-owned businesses. Go to Lake Street. You will find countless exceptional businesses that make Minneapolis better. If you need to shop at a grocery store, go to Colonial Market. If you need to get some flowers for an anniversary, go over to East Lake. If you need to get some food, or go out, or have a good time, or buy some insurance, you can go over to East Lake Street and get the kind of help that you need, and by the way, support a business and a community that is largely struggling. We all can help out right now. We can band together, we can unite as a city, and we can support the communities that are disproportionately being targeted by this administration. Please.
Mayor, going back to the raid at Carmel Hall yesterday, talk about the need to bring in officers. Why were those officers brought in? And talk about the reaction.
So the question was, there's a widely publicized incident in the area of East or West 28th Street and Pillsbury Avenue yesterday, and why were local law enforcement brought into that. The sheriff's office has released a 911 call of the information that was received that described 60 people attacking federal law enforcement. And so when that information was received at the Minneapolis Emergency Communications Center, it was broadcast as an officer needs help call. When that happens, every available officer in the city will respond immediately and as quickly as possible. That's what the officers did. And when they got there, they did not observe any life safety issues when they arrived on the scene. So once that was determined, that the scene was safe, that there was no actual violence occurring, our officers disengaged from the scene. Because the problem that we are in is oftentimes when we place local law enforcement now into a situation where there may have been questionable methods being used by another law enforcement agency, we often contribute to the problem. And so our concern whenever we have to respond is, number one, to the safety of every person that is there. That's number one. And two, to try and de-escalate the situation if possible. But unfortunately, there are times where merely then the presence of the police can also cause the situation to escalate, which we do not want. We have been training our officers for the last 5 years very, very intensely on de-escalation. But unfortunately, that is often not what we are seeing from other agencies in the city.
Chief, we got time for one more question. Chief, there are people who, given what you're saying, there are people who would argue don't
Yes.
send officers at all, especially given the separation ordinance. And or perhaps the other extreme, why do you not arrest those people?
Yeah.
Can you talk about
Sure.
whether the viability of either of those options?
Yep. So Kyle's question was, granted, given what I just said, there are people who would say, because of the city's separation ordinance, we should not respond at all. And then obviously there's also the opposite viewpoint there. The biggest thing that I am afraid of that is real is that we can have a tragedy happen in this city. We are not far removed from when Lake Street and much of this city was destroyed. As Pastor and the Mayor referenced, is the Latino community largely that rebuilt Lake Street when it was destroyed. And so we're trying to do the best we can to protect everyone's life and to try and de-escalate things whenever we can. But at the same time, we don't control the unsafe or questionable tactics by other agencies that are here. So it is a very difficult line, and the number one priority that we all have is to try and protect the lives of everyone in our community and to do everything that we can, given circumstances that we don't control, to try and de-escalate whenever possible. You know, there are people, as referenced before, there are people that are exercising their First Amendment rights to observe, record, and report law enforcement activity in this city. That's everyone's constitutional rights. But it's clear not everybody that's operating in this city right now that's wearing things that say police understand that. And that's a problem that unfortunately I don't control, but what I can control is to try and do everything that I can to ensure that we de-escalate whenever we can and protect people's lives here.
All right, everyone, the mayor and the chief have to leave the Capitol, so thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you for this. Thanks. You got it. Come on.